Right? Okay, but you want to have these shoes, you want to have this, you want to have that, and then fucking mom's paying your fucking car insurance, some shit. Like, dude, you're fucking 26 years old. You know what I'm saying? Mom sent me a Westie.
Sending me a Westie. But for real,
or like you're fucking late on your car note, but you got fucking Yeezys.
That's what I mean.
You know? Like, bro, don't you fucking see something wrong with that?
Like, show up and be wearing, yo, look at the new kicks, and they got like these $300 Jordans, and be like, all right, come on, we're going to the diner. To the diner to go eat, right? We go sit down, and the bill, yo, take care. You know, my check didn't come. Like, dude, what you just flaunted all this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what?
All right, guys, what you just heard was a quick segment from the show. We're very excited for this episode. We had Angelo on from the Real Deal Car Guys. I've known Angelo for a few years now. Wanted to kind of have him on the show and bring back the show to kind of how we started. This episode was really interesting. We talked about his company, jobs, and how he grew up. We talked about fatherhood. We talked about neighbors doing illegal activity and how you should react. We talked about knowing your worth when it comes to time and money, which are all, there's a lot of good takeaways in this episode. We hope that you enjoy it.
Welcome to the Everyday Hustle Show, where we're figuring it out together over time. On the show, we'll be giving you the tools you need to take your career and life to the next level. So get ready for interviews and topics that will give you a competitive edge against the shuffle we call life. Sure, we might get into some heavy topics, but we also like to laugh and have a fun time too. Are you ready for the show? Here's your hosts, Jesse, Andrew, and Christian.
Welcome to the 29th recorded episode. We got a special guest in the house today, bringing it back to the old style here. We got, of course, we got Christian. What's up, Chris?
Hey, what's going on, man?
And then we got Angelo here with us tonight. Angelo is the owner-operator of the Real Deal Car Guys,
Yes, sir.
which we'll get into. But first, how you feeling tonight, Chris?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling really, really, really good. I won't speak on it right now because it's a little too soon, but...
All right, so you got some top secret shit going on.
Top secret shit.
That's good. I had some top secret stuff going on. You know, it's hard to like not talk about it when you're excited, you know? But it makes releasing it, you know, all the better.
Yes, sir.
And Angelo, how you doing, brother?
Oh, it's Saturday, dog.
Yeah.
All right, it's the weekend.
I'm laid back today.
Yeah.
So, you haven't checked out a couple of the podcast episode, but podcasts aren't really something that you listen to a lot, right?
I don't listen to anything other than Pandora radio. I don't watch TV or nothing.
All right,
I'm usually
cool.
out and about. I don't
Honestly,
listen to
that's what I know your style. You're always moving. You're just like me. That's kind of like why one of the reasons. There's a bunch of reasons why I wanted to have you come out, but that was one of them because I feel like when people aren't really, really into this type of thing, it's easier for them to kind of just talk about, because you kind of have when you listen to all the stuff on all the podcasts and like what's going on with all entrepreneurship and all this shit, it kind of taints your vision on stuff. So I think it's cool that you don't really follow a lot of the stuff, but so. First thing I want to talk about, where are you from originally?
Staten Island.
Staten Island, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Born and raised in Staten Island there. Then you moved to Florida when you were how old?
2014. I think it was, what, 26?
26.
26 years.
So years 1 to 20, 25.5 or 26 in Staten Island.
Yep.
And then now
South Florida.
Now you're in South Florida. You've been here for how long?
September this year will like a month or so will be 4 years now.
Okay. So you're coming up on your dirty 30.
30.
So, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So what was it like? See, when people say Staten Island, I don't really know what to think. A lot of times I think of like suburbs outside of the city. Is that accurate?
It's one of the boroughs. 5 boroughs is technically city limits. Staten Island is one of the boroughs. Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens. Long Island is not a borough, but Long Island is like a.
They like to think they are.
Yeah, it's like the wish it was city limits, but it's not. and that's more suburbs
Yeah.
than Staten Island. Like Staten Island it's more like North Shore, which is closer towards Brooklyn, Manhattan, and then South Shore, which I grew up on, which is like closer towards like Perth Amboy. We got it's a little triangular island in between literally like Brooklyn, Manhattan, Jersey City, Perth Amboy, and it's just a little island. Like take a ferry ride to Manhattan, and you're passing the Statue of Liberty, Governor's Island.
That's
All
sick.
it's like central to whichever route you want to go. You can
Okay,
go to
so
Manhattan.
it is kind of like not like you're not in like central Manhattan, but you're
No.
not like
No, it's
you're not in
nothing
like suburbia.
Manhattan, but it's not. Yeah, it's not complete like cul-de-sacs. It's not like that. It's still city-like, and it's very
Did you
congested,
hang
but
out on
not
the
like-
Did you hang out on the stoop as a kid?
I played stoop ball, stick
Okay.
ball, box
Damn.
ball, handball.
Yo, this is
it's-
probably
All the balls.
This is probably a dumb question, but what is a borough? Like, why? What is that? Is that just a town? Another word for town? I've never been in
I
New
don't know.
York.
That's a
Yeah.
good question, but I don't just know. New York has 5 boroughs, which is
Okay.
technically city.
So that's like
city,
that's pretty much like their 5 biggest cities.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. Okay.
pretty much.
I
Well,
was
those
sure.
are all parts of New York
Parts
City,
of
so
New York
boroughs
City.
are probably subdivisions of the city.
Yes,
Okay.
I would guess.
subdivisions, correct.
Oh,
That's-
okay,
that
okay.
sounds
We'll Google it
right.
later and make sure we're not sounding like idiots. But
So good.
okay, so all school, obviously elementary,
Yeah.
high school, everything in
I went-
Staten Island.
Yeah, I went to
Okay.
everything in Staten Island. Then when I graduated high school, I mean, I was kind of a little bit of a problem child as soon as like
Welcome to
high
the club,
school
bro.
years.
We're all here sitting here as problem children.
As soon as high school years hit, that was when me being a problem child started.
Yeah.
But long story short, I eventually went to a trade school. I was working
Yeah.
in cab services, then dealerships, and
What's cab services?
cab service. Like they have taxis. Taxis is
You were
is-
working as a mechanic on taxis, or
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
weren't
and I
driving a
started-
taxi?
Well, I started just doing oil changes, brakes, and cleaning the cab.
Is it a private company that owns the
Private.
taxis, or is
the
it
one I was at was a private? It was like a mom and pop.
a general yellow taxi in New York?
Those
Is
are,
it?
those are individually owned. They, they have to buy. I think they're called
So you-
medallions.
Right.
Medallions
So you
that
work
stick
for a
to the-
company that serviced all
They were like town car, Lincoln
private-
town car, private,
a private.
Yeah. It was all private. I started there, and I had this old man that used to teach me. He was like a forklift mechanic. He would be like, I don't even like working on these pieces of shit. I don't even work on these. But he would literally stand behind me and be like, take this off, take this off, take this off, and call me over. And 2 minutes later, I'm done. Like, all right, take this off, this off, this off. And he'd come back, be like, all right, put this in, and I'll do everything in reverse. And he'd come back and double check everything. He'd show me all these little tricks. And he showed me a lot. And then I got into a dealership. As time went on, I was working at a dealership. In their prep department, all the new cars would come in off the lot with like the plastics on the car, and you gotta like put the little accessories in, and pretty much like a detail department. And all the time I was in detail department, which is like 20 feet away is all the lifts with the mechanics, and I'd be over there all the time, and the guys would always yell, "What are you doing over there? You're not a
Yeah.
mechanic. Get over here." It's like, I
Yeah.
want to be over here. I kept
Yeah.
busting chops. I want to be over here. So I kept busting chops all the time, and they were like, well, you know what? If you go to school and you get certified, we'll give you a job. So sure enough, I signed into school in Manhattan. And
That's the trade school you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to school in Manhattan, and that was a lot of fun because I was still a problem child
Yeah.
at that time. And
You
but I
finished?
still-
You got
I still
your-
finished.
your
I still
papers,
did
all that?
everything.
Yeah.
And when I graduated, I went to the dealership I was at, and they couldn't even give me a job. I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, all right,
They
man.
fucking pulled the old wool over your eyes.
Yeah, right. I was like, I just signed this, just
Yeah.
did school for you guys, so I could do this. I was like, whatever. So I left there and went to a different dealership. I worked in, trying to find my place in the
Yeah.
world at the time. Still just, bouncing.
Yeah, you were
around.
probably what, 20, 21?
If that, yeah,
19,
20,
yeah.
19, 20. Yeah, it was 7. No, 21 maybe. 21.
Yeah.
Anyway, so bouncing around dealership to dealership, different things, and like some places they do like flat rate pay, like, cause I've always been like a go getter, like real busy body.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of
like to
mechanics
work
are on
fast.
commission.
Yeah, it's
right?
like it's
Yeah.
flat rate pay. So like a brake job will come in, it says 2 hours to do, and I do in a half hour. And like this one dealership, they'd only let me work Monday through Thursday, because I was like every day like 8-hour shift, clocking like 16 to 20 hours. And they're like, we can't let you work anymore. And, so like all weekend long,
Wow, you were too good, so they couldn't let you work anymore.
Yeah, they couldn't afford
Usually
me.
it's the other way around. You be fucking drinking on the job or some shit.
Yeah, no,
Get sent
that
home
was
because you
never
got
me.
into a fucking verbal altercation with the fucking parts cashier or some
Yeah,
shit.
Never dragged my ass, never dragged my feet. So the weekends, my buddy had a detailing company. He had a van. He used to go around doing all these, high-end car wash detailing and whatnot. So on the weekends, I would work with him, and like on and off between bouncing around, I would like, work with him full time, because I was always getting into some trouble or whatever. So I mean, I always fell back working with him, doing detailing mobile, and that was just always my thing. It just became my thing, just cars, just doing work.
So did you know, like, okay, so like that was after you graduated high school and all that. I mean, like throughout like high school and as you were like getting your driver's license and all that stuff, like did you have an interest in cars and mechanics? Like how did you know? Because I know today that's still what you do, and it seems like that's what you've done the whole, ever since you got out of high school. It seems like that's what you've done. So like, did you just know, or like, because
not even, because I mean, as a kid growing up young, even up until high school, like I was always into like cars. I had like those remote control gas powered cars growing up.
Yep, I had one of those.
Loved that.
Nitrous.
That was like Nitro. And was always into cars, but then I think like once high school years came, like I started getting sidetracked with different things, and like I don't know, a lot of us, I guess, I mean, girls, the partying, and then leads to other things and other things and other things, and it's just I feel like I kind of just got sidetracked from like really like what I wanted, because I remember like like during those years of like confusing times, and like always wanted to be somebody else, so I would like put a lot of effort into trying to be like this person, and
whoever was around you at the
like,
time,
like
or
role models. Like I have my older cousins, like I always had role models, like so like at that point in time, like I always had role models, like I wanted to be like this one. So like I didn't always think like I was gonna be into cars like I am today. Like I tried taking my Series 7. I was training to be a stockbroker. I wanted to be like my cousin. Like that's what they
when
did.
you were still in New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I tried work on Wall Street, and I tried doing that, and it's just like I don't know. It's just something that didn't really feel right. Like I tried it, I gave it a shot, but it just really wasn't me. I don't know.
I guess the reason why I asked is because like I went through high school and college, well, 2.5 years of college, not knowing what I wanted to do. I was like undeclared as a major. I had no idea what I want, and even still today, I feel like sometimes like I don't really know, which direction to take, what I want to do. I have a few companies LLC'd, and like I'm just like I don't know. I just want to figure out which one's going to give me stability and freedom as far as time goes. But I mean, what about you, Christian? Like, did you, like, with what you're doing now, obviously you didn't think at 18 that you were, going to do HVAC, but like what today, like in your life, like drew you to it, or what, like, why did you, what interests you about it? Why did you?
Well, I mean, I was actually, when you were talking about, seeing the mechanics over there, and it kind of, definitely brought me to a point. But I mean, I when I was 19, I worked in the oil field, and that was my first.
Yeah.
Before I worked in like in a field one time, like nothing for too long, but that was my first time working with my hands, and doing something that I felt was me earning my check, like earning my paycheck, because I've had other jobs where I was in like cubicles and stuff. So now, like, as far as being a mechanic on air conditioning, things, the biggest part for me that I like really, really appreciate is figuring out, how things work and how to fix them, how to put things back together, and not like feeling like I'm taking advantage of people. Like they're like, I'm bringing, something to the table to where they call me for an issue, the AC's not working, and then the feeling of like, it happened yesterday actually, the feeling of like, we get their AC back on. They've been without AC for 2 days, and they're like, "Oh, thank you. You guys are lifesavers."
You're like God to them here in Florida.
Yeah, and it
shedding the light.
It's great. Yeah. It's awesome, man. I'm still in the learning phase. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when something clicks and
Yeah.
when, like, I did it.
So mechanically,
Yeah.
you know, you're working with your hands. You like
Yeah.
to fix problems. You like how figuring out how things work.
Yeah.
You like providing a service that's honest and people appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't feel like, you know, they don't feel like dirty after you
Right.
leave there. Like, I just feel like I got ripped off.
Right.
That was like
You
me
know?
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday I did, and it's a Mercedes. This kid has Mercedes, and I'm not a Mercedes guy
Yeah.
at all. I'm like
You're talking about
American
mechanically
car-
wise,
yeah,
right?
Mechanically,
Yeah,
like,
because German stuff like Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes, like
so
you need special
stupid.
tools. There's some,
Yeah.
there's
the
some.
parts, tools, and the
Yeah.
time, the amount of time it takes to take something apart, as
Yeah.
opposed to like a Ford or whatever.
What was wrong with the car?
Brakes?
Okay,
Needed back brakes. Okay,
and it was a giant
You
pain.
no, not even.
Oh.
The parts were kind of expensive,
Oh.
but it's like they're like the dealership. He went to the dealership and they told him almost $1,500 worth of work
For rear brakes.
For rear brakes.
Okay, and you charged them how
Like
much? If you don't mind me
$500.
asking.
It was like $500.
Okay, and the parts were how much?
Like $360.
Right, so you made $150 for a couple hours of work,
An hour, not even.
an hour's worth of
Yeah.
work, and the dealer would have
And
made
the dealer
fucking.
was like,
Yeah.
$1,500. I'm like, Jesus. And altogether, it was like, it was literally half. Because I mean, with tires, I set them up with my tire guy. After everything was $755.
Tires and brakes.
Tires and brakes.
Yeah, and he would have been.
And he was
he
at
would have been.
15. He was almost at $1,500.
They were gonna take him for a
So
walk.
like my Snapchat thing, I posted. I was like taking pictures, brake job, and
Yeah.
I was like, just save 50% by switching to the
Yeah.
real deal car guys.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
So like we're trying to. I'm in the phase of like trying to start a juice bar, right? Same type of concept, right? Like I was disgusted. I went into this place, got like 2 little like pre-made shots of juice the other day, and it was like $11. Right? I know that it's like cents worth of produce, and like, dude, you can go in other places get it for like $1.50, $2. It's like, you know, like, listen, like people want to eat healthy, and people want to make it hard and say like, because the excuse is always it's too expensive, right? So like I feel like as time is going on, the philosophies that I'm like thinking about starting this company are kind of growing and changing. But like I want to be like the people who are like, dude, this is so affordable that you cannot fucking give me the excuse that it's too expensive to eat healthy, you know, and like we'll be cheaper than those expensive people, but aligned with there's other companies out there who are selling the same product at the same cost. Like you can't sell a fucking, you know, cold pressed juice for $12.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I feel like
You
they
know?
do that because like I think there's a general like.
Yeah,
idea
it's
of
their
that
standard.
person.
Like
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
walk into a place like that, they're expecting you to spend
Right,
that much
right.
money, right? But check this out, and this, you know, I'm not racist by any means, right? But like I went at this place, it was called Don Victorio's, right? And it was in between West Palm and Lake Worth on Federal. Produce place filled with Mexicans, right? They're killing it, crushing it in there, right? They have a little juice stand in the back. Fucking fresh produce, tasted so good. I got a big ass juice. It was $4, dude, and I was in and out, and they
Yep.
made it. It was fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
Would have been like $12 anywhere else, you know. So
More
it's like
probably.
places like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they're not doing anything crazy.
Right.
They're not doing anything out of the ordinary. They're just hardworking. They're providing a thing, a beverage or a drink, and they're still making. I mean, that's
Right.
still probably 40-50% profit, you know, and they're, you know, helping the health issue, you know,
Yeah.
which is huge in America. Okay, so to kind of like. That was awesome. We got into a weird spot. I don't know how we got to there, but okay. So now, Real Deal Car Guys, mobile detailing and mobile mechanics.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yes, sir.
you're your own. You own the company. You got any guys with you right now?
I got rid of everyone.
Yeah. You've had employees
This
in
is-
and out, but
Oh man, I've gone through friggin' over 100. I mean, realistically, over 100, 100 guys.
Yeah.
Like side by side.
So-
working with Tribe.
when you moved to Florida, what was your first job?
First job.
Did you didn't move here and start the company? Sorry, that was kind of the question, right?
Actually, the first job I was working with Mike De Palma.
Okay. He was on the show.
Yeah.
Episode what? Maybe like
So we're
way
at
back.
29 now. So
We're at 29. I
Yeah.
mean, he was in
know.
there.
Wow.
So
It
you
was
were
early
working.
on.
What,
It was
he
early.
was. He owns a home services company. You
Yeah,
were helping him out.
But I just I really didn't have anything going on, and I just wanted to, you know, be able to get some pocket money. And
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, he introduced me to the stand-up jet skis.
Yeah.
And for like a month straight, I worked and I was like just paying off a ski. You know, I was like, I
Yeah.
want that jet ski, man.
Episode 7, by the way.
7, I thought. All right.
Yeah.
But,
It's awesome. Finally got Angelo here.
Yeah, it just was enough to just get me by. And,
Yeah.
And you know.
And
busy
then,
instead
and then you started your own thing a little bit
Yeah.
after getting. Okay, did he kind of like inspire you to like you saw him doing this and you were like, dude, why can't I fucking start my own thing?
With the
No, I'm talking like
oh,
company, career,
work-wise.
work-wise.
Work-wise, believe it or not, because while I was doing some work with Mike, I was going around to all different dealerships and auto repair places, and for some reason I just couldn't friggin' land a job. And I'm like, geez, people.
You were trying to get a job detailing at a dealership.
No, mechanics.
Okay.
Doing mechanics.
Because you were certified.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I was trying, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with these people? And they were looking at me like, well, what are you doing in South Florida? Why are you down here? And they could kind of piece it together like, I don't know. And like, I kind of feel like you got some skeletons in your closet. I'm like, if you only knew. I was like, nah, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I couldn't land a job, and I started with, I had a old 2001 Ford Explorer Sport Track, little pickup truck, old, and was going around. I started doing some people's cars, detailing, because I would drive back and forth to New York. I did it like 6 trips back and forth to New York my first year down here, bringing supplies down one time, then all my tools another time.
Mm-hmm.
And, I started just with a freaking garden hose in the back of my pickup truck, and I would go to people's houses, hook everything up, and just do their cars right at their house.
You're using their water, their power, and they're paying you.
Power. I didn't have anything. All I had was just the knowledge on what to do, and I was like, and my supplies I had.
Yeah.
So that was like my starter, and then just with that, and
it's humbling to do that. You gotta. Hey, you mind if I? Did you ask him? Like, do you go up to him and ask? Like, I could do your car and stuff like that, but like, I'm gonna need to get like hooked up to your faucet, and like, I'm gonna have to run an extension cord to your garage.
Spigot right there.
You asked them, or you just did it?
No,
okay.
I'd be like,
and they're like, whatever.
Where's the spot? Like, where is it? Because I need a spigot and like an electric outlet or something. Like, yeah, we got you. I'm like, all right, you don't have it off. Oh, man, we got to do. I don't know.
We have to call your neighbor.
And make it work.
All right. So what about? So obviously, you're doing well for yourself. As far as work wise going, and I see the life you live. And what about like the future of the? I know we're kind of like the lifestyle changes that we made. We're not really supposed to live in the future. We're supposed to kind of stay in today. But I mean, do you have plans for like what direction you want to take the company, or do you kind of just
it's like a
wing
roller coaster ride for me.
Yeah.
Man. There's times when I'll be in the moment and I'll start thinking of the future, and I'll be like, you know what, I want to get a location. I want to have like a car wash on a corner, detail center, like like there's one spot way down in Hollywood that I loved because there was 2 gas pumps, 6 bays, like 4 in the front, 2 on the side, storage all behind the building, corner lot for the whole like car wash detail center on the whole corner. And I was like, I would love this. This is like it,
But that's a huge step up from what you're doing now.
Huge, yeah. And it's for me, because it's like right now I do everything by myself, and just doing mobile is like enough to like, I'm busy all day long, just, trying to, quote unquote marketing, like just to freaking take pictures and post them up on Facebook, Snapchat.
Does that make
Instagram.
a difference, you think?
I was never into social media at all. I always had Facebook because I would like just post up pictures like with family or, little events or whatever. And, I never I was calling it Chapsnat forever. Chapsnat.
Yeah.
Get off your Chapsnat. And Instagram, I had an Instagram I made like 6 years ago, and I didn't even know I had it. And somebody would, people were telling me suggestions like, oh, why don't you like get on social media? Like, I'm telling you. I'm like, I don't know. I freaking hate social media. Leave me alone. Like, I'm telling you, 90% of our business comes from social media, Instagram. I'm telling you. I was like, get out of here. I was like, come on. So I tried it, and like I've had it. My Instagram's been up for like I'm probably just about at 2 months. Like it's a month by myself working now, and a month before that, probably 2 months on Instagram and Snapchat, and like phone calls that would come my
Yeah.
way from Instagram, and I saw you on Snapchat. I saw you before and after. So I'm like, from Snapchat,
Yeah.
from Instagram, really? It's like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
man,
Yep.
all
Free-
right,
free
whatever.
Instagram at Real Deal Car Guys.
Real
In case
deal.
anyone's wanting to know. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, you got, and just so you know, I could show you how you could set this up as a business account,
Yeah.
so that way it would show your name, and then beneath it would have in a little grayed out thing, it would say like, mechanic or like mobile mechanic.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's got your phone number on here, tells you a little bit about what you do. That's perfect. Yeah, man. You got
I had like
800
800 something followers.
800 followers, man.
Yeah.
Every time you post a picture, 800 people is guaranteed to get in front of.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. And I only started like 2 months ago.
yeah, that's great. I love it. So, do you think that it's made a difference?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And like, it was almost like the change that I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because, like we were on before, like getting a spot location. Like sometimes, like I had a shop for like 8 months at one point in time, and like even that, like between, having guys out on the truck trying to take care of everything that's all mobile.
Yeah.
Not getting done the way it's supposed to be done.
Right.
Breaking stuff, losing this, or whatever, just issues with their own personal lives, and it's like getting dragged into work. Like between that and then having to deal with my own stuff, marketing, the paperwork, the invoices, the actual work of like taking apart and putting together or cleaning. It's like I was doing everything just like that, and like it's a lot. So like,
So what made you decide to stop looking for a location?
honestly, after I guess trial and error. Like
Is that something that you want? Like, is that where you see like?
I loved having it. It's nice having.
I never knew you had a location for 8 months. What?
Yeah.
What?
I
Why?
had a shop in Dania Beach.
What did you do? Just pay month to month?
Yeah, it was rented from a guy. Put the place together. His nephew passed away in a car accident. He was 19 years old. He broke his ankle. The doctors in the hospital over medicated the kid.
Wow.
He passed away. And he was into like the whole car scene, like hopping up cars and flashy shit, whatever. And all the kids that he put together this shop for the kids to be able to go to, like a hobby shop with a lift, lifts and access to tools to work on their own cars. Rent the lift by the hour.
Oh,
so back when I first met him, right prior to that, I had two guys put an offer on the table, a bunch of money. It was kind of tempting, and I was like, they just wanted to invest in a spot with me to run the whole thing, and they would just be the financial backbone. And like,
Did they want a percentage of the company?
Percentage, yeah. And honestly, just like sitting back and keeping my mouth shut, just feeling it out, like really like listening to my gut. I just was like, didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see if I could do this on my own, like I've always done. Like I don't really want to have to rely on anyone. And it was a big chunk of change too. So I was like, I didn't really, I don't know. I could rely on myself, but for somebody to just be there and just be.
So
like,
you were operating in that
pockets.
spot before those guys came along.
No, they found a spot that they wanted me to do. It was a different spot. It was a big
different one.
spot.
Okay. So what? So you were at the other spot with the guy whose son passed away for 8 months. What happened that you left that spot?
He, our neighbor next door to us in the bay next to us was like a chemist. It looked like a meth lab in there. No joke. It was like his glassed in rooms with like bottles of liquids and like it was wild looking, whatever. And he was a nut job. He would
So what did he do? Blow the fucking place up?
Nah, he had some invention for like air purifying systems for high-rise buildings. That was what it was.
Okay.
And these guys came in and bought the idea and wanted him to build another one, and it was like next to impossible for him to move. So he apparently put a big offer on the table for the guy that I was renting the shop from.
Couldn't refuse.
It was like.
So you were renting it from someone who had the lease for the space,
Yeah.
like subleasing it almost,
Yeah,
and then the space got bought out, and you.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as like career or like revenue and business wise, like in that 8 months versus let's take any 8 months on the street that you were mobile, how
That's why I look at it now, and it was like that was.
How was it?
At the time? I was paying. I mean, whatever it is, what it is now. But I mean, I was paying like $1,300 a month to have a spot that really
which is
wasn't
like nothing.
Yeah,
That's
it was
cheap.
nice to have. It was convenient, but it really didn't bring in any extra revenue.
It just gave you a roof over your.
Yeah, it was like
You had a lift
space
and
to
all that?
work, had 2 lifts. And,
Okay.
like it had like a lounge area with couches and TVs and coffee espresso machines.
Your
It was
typical
like,
mechanic shop, like real, like a
super clean.
I was gonna say
No,
real
no.
deal, fucking.
Nah, we kept that place. It was super
Real
clean.
deal.
Like
Yeah.
like you could eat off anything in that place.
Yeah.
But you know,
Wow.
it just didn't make
That's
sense.
that's
Money-wise.
crazy because if you think about it, like, where would you be if that guy never bought the space out? You know, like, would you still be there? Could you fucking own a massive? How long ago was it?
November will be when we moved out.
Okay.
So this time
a year.
last year I had
Almost
it.
a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a year. I mean, shit. In a year, I mean, you could have. You could have done great, or you could have
Could have been
fucking
bankrupt.
crashed and burned. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
So
Who
do you?
knows?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of mobile mechanics out there, but there's also a lot of like you know, bring your car to a shop. Do you feel like the mobile thing kind of gives you an edge almost?
Yeah, people. I kind of feel like people like the fact that I would go to them. They didn't. You know, the reality is most people don't want to freaking do anything nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's like to just go about their day like they normally would and just be like, oh, okay, I'll
And
come
you
outside
fix
and
their
give you the
shit.
keys.
Yeah.
Just let me know how much. Like that's the ones all right, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Gotcha. All right. So, you got anything you want to talk? Because I'm gonna kind of shift gears onto like another topic. Did you have anything else that you want to ask Angelo about the business and all that stuff?
I'm trying to think. I mean, so basically, I guess the only thing that I would ask is, as far as where you're at now and where you're trying to go to, you say that you're more comfortable with basically just continuing to, because basically you let go of all the people that you have, so now it's just you. Now it's just you. So
Yeah.
now, are you planning to get someone else, like other people on your team, to basically
Honestly,
start?
no.
No, so you just want to.
Honestly, I mean, it's Saturday today. Yesterday was exactly 4 weeks that I've been
And you
back
love it.
on the truck by myself, not having to worry about picking this one up,
Yeah.
paying this one's rent, paying this one's phone.
And you love it.
This one messing up or not doing the right thing. Like the last 4 weeks, honestly, like got me back to the point where I like wake up in the morning, I get out and about, I get to the fresh spot, I go through my whole day, peaceful, just serene, and I'm just like, I'm back to like enjoying what I do again. And it's like I was not getting that at all, like with one guy working with me, with two guys working with me, with two guys out on a truck, and me just doing my own thing. It was just too much for anybody to be able to put that kind of expectation on anybody to be able to do what I do. It's just not realistic. It's too much for anybody to to put on their plate. To it's like putting expectations on someone. It's just never gonna work out. So like the last couple of weeks just been honestly like the most peaceful, and honestly like even at the end of the day, dollar amount, it's just so much more worth. I'll just do it my damn self. I know it's done right. I don't have to go back. I don't have to waste time. I don't have to deal with headaches and stress and just it's just in smooth sailing. So honestly,
Well, maybe
like,
all
I'm
that
good,
stuff,
man.
yeah. Maybe all those negatives that you talked about when you get to the point where if you want to bring more people on, you take that as a learning experience, and whoever else comes in, that if you get to the point where you need to hire someone, now you know what not to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how to, probably know a more efficient way to expand your business. All right, so I'm gonna shift gears because obviously I'm my wife is pregnant right now, and you have been a father for 9 months.
She's 8 months now.
8 months.
Gonna be 9 months.
Okay, almost 9 months, right? So I kind of wanted to just talk about that journey. Obviously, I kind of knew you and Candace as she was pregnant, and I know a little bit about the whole pregnancy thing, and I'm kind of going through it myself. I kind of just enjoying going through it and kind of learning for myself. But once the baby was born, between then and now, just tell me a little bit about like how life has changed and what it's done for you mentally and physically, and just share with me a little bit about it.
Honestly, when she was pregnant, I would get mixed stories from different people all the time that had kids, and like a lot of them, like I don't know about a lot of them, but like, there was some that really stuck out and like stuck with me, where they were saying like, oh man, your life's gonna change forever. Oh my god, like it's so terrible.
Right,
like, oh my
right.
god, you don't know what you're in for. And
Yeah.
like that stuck. Some of those like people that said that to me, like it stuck with me, and I'm like,
Scared
what
Did
do
these
you
people
mean?
have? Did these people have kids?
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, we're like homebodies as it is. After like
Yeah.
during the week, we go to work, we come home, we eat dinner, we take a shower, we go to sleep, we just chill it out. Like, I'm not like into going out. Like, I can
Right.
understand like if you're into like going out at night, like club scenes or bars or like, you know, nightlife or whatever. I can understand. Yeah, your life's gonna change, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to sleep at like 9 o'clock, like 10 o'clock, like I do, you know. So I mean, really, we were already like homebodies, so to speak. So it's like, really, what's the hell is gonna change? And from like once the baby came, like, and then seeing like, you know, direct, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm at home with the kid all the time. So it's like, you know, going through it, it was like the only, you know, it wasn't like that at all. She was completely. I mean,
Yeah.
luckily, thank God.
I think everyone's experience is different, and they're just telling you this is what I went through,
Yeah.
so you can expect that. When it's
Yeah.
like no, because everybody's body's different.
Yeah.
Every human being is different.
And the baby too. That's like, I mean, I've seen some babies that are absolutely freaking
they're
terrorists.
screaming,
Just
screaming,
always
screaming.
screaming. Like she was from day one, just always such a happy baby, always very happy baby. She's just like she chills, you know. She just hangs out. She could like.
I think a lot of that has to do with the atmosphere that they're raised in too.
Yes, in
You
the
know?
house, like in the house is her time when she's fussy. She's like me, like
She likes to be out and about and moving.
Yes,
Nice.
That's awesome.
yes, like she can. She'll literally in the house have to go from like the swing to the bouncer to the playpen to just constantly moving around every 20 minutes because she's just like she just gets antsy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I could literally grab her and bring her outside and let her sit outside, and she could just sit there and just
Yeah.
stare off at whatever. Like, I mean, thank God, granted we have like you know, a nice little scenery in the yard that I
Yeah.
made. So it's
Got
like
a little pool and a little lake,
yeah,
right?
canal.
Yeah.
So like she could literally just sit and chill outside. We could take her out, like on the boat all the time. She just sits and chills. In the house is like the time when she gets
Yeah.
fussy, when she's just sitting still in four walls, just like a father.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting.
But
That's
She's
awesome.
been a lot of fun. She's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, was there anything that you think, like, surprised you about having a kid?
Surprised me. I don't know. I look at it now and like, I mean, and it's early on, but like the only thing that surprised me, I'm kind of surprised in myself. Like I've always like the change in me now that having like a little one to take after, like, you know, look at her, like I come home at the end of my day and I'll look at her and I can literally just like my whole world stops.
Yeah.
And like now it's like I look at it and like every time in the past, like the guys that's always worked with me, like I always would take these guys on and take them under the wing and almost be, you know, like one of them who it was like my son.
Yeah.
quote,
Try to be a
unquote.
father figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a father figure
Yeah.
to them, and like try and help them with this, and
Yeah.
get them this, and get them cars, and get them
Yeah,
whatever.
they don't
just
give
try
a
and
shit,
help them
though.
out, and they don't care.
Yeah, no.
And like now with the baby, it's kind of like, you know, I would like, it's kind of like instinct, like almost for me to like take these guys and try and do that. But now that I have like this little one, like that I come home to every day, and I see this little girl all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, that's what's important to me. So
Right.
now it's just
It's
kinda
interesting
like
because if
change.
you do that with those guys, it's going to take away from, you know, your
Yeah,
family.
and I
You know,
ain't
so-
doing it. No.
right.
Nope,
It's
nope,
crazy
nope,
how
nope,
that happened.
nope,
Yeah.
nope.
So what about like, do you feel like very protective and like, do you feel like you're always kind of like, you know, like when you're driving or with like people in your neighborhood, you get like,
Nah.
no?
I want her to be, you know, like I don't want her to be sheltered.
Right.
You know, I want
Yeah.
her to be like actually, I overheard when I was taking a nap today. I never take a nap. But as I was taking,
Disclosure: Angelo never takes naps.
Yeah, I never take naps, but I took a nap today. And as I was falling asleep, I was listening to her how the baby is literally like around a bunch of people. Like last night, we were around a bunch of people, and she's always just like friendly. Like there was a parade outside our house on the 4th of July, And like this guy in like a costume came over and like put his hand out to the baby. Oh my god, what a cute baby! And the baby literally just like puts a hand out and like starts like waving at her hand. You know, she like touch hands. Like she's very personable, and I want her to be like that. And we're like glad. That's
I feel like some people will be like, dude, don't touch my fucking baby.
Nah, it's ridiculous. I don't. And overprotect. Like my father, all the time when we go on the boat, we'll take pictures, or when we're at like the sandbar, and the baby will be in the boat, and like we're intercoastal, like there's no wake zone, like you know everybody's just sitting chilling, you know, and like the baby's not wearing a life jacket. Like, okay, excuse me, sorry, whatever, dude. But you try and put a friggin' 7-month-old, even we've had her on the boat since 2 months old, but you put any baby in a big bulky life jacket and just expect her to sit there for hours and chill. Yeah, right. Okay, sorry. It's not it's not gonna be a good day. So if the baby's just comfortable sitting in her friggin', car seat strapped in or whatever, she's just sitting chilling, I'm sorry. She's just gonna sit there chilling in the car seat. Yeah. But like my father will see all the pictures with the baby not in a life jacket, and he's like, personal floating, the PFD, personal floating device on all the pictures. I'm like, she has one. Yeah. So he literally just mailed down another one. I'm like, she's got 2 that she's not gonna wear. It's like, why don't you come and visit maybe, and you can sit on the boat with her and see if she wants to sit in your life jacket, because I'm not doing it. She's not doing it. It's not happening. So like as far as being like overprotective, I kind of want to bring her up like these are the dangers in life, but like you need to like
learn how to handle react.
Learn how to handle it almost,
I guess the reason why I ask is because so 2:00 in the morning, right? This is 2 nights ago.
Okay.
Right? All of a sudden out of nowhere, we hear bang 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 bang. Like someone's banging on the window. I said, "What the fuck?"
On your window?
Yeah.
Like the house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm going outside with a shotgun. But okay.
Right. So I'm gonna get there. Get there. That's why this is why I wanted to ask you about the protective thing, right? Because like it sounded really close. It was the neighbors, right? But they were banging so loud that it sounded like it was on our door. Even like 2 houses down, they heard it. Yeah. We were talking to our neighbors about it, right? The thing is that they do things that are illegal. Right?
Illegal,
right?
Okay.
Sell fucking pills, whatever the hell they do. Yeah. Okay. Right? And it's 2:00 in the morning and someone's fucking banging on the window. And and Jen wakes up and she freaks out, right? And I'm like, something just fell down, like a door or a shampoo bottle in the fucking shower. Like, just go back to sleep. Like, don't worry about it. And she's like, no, like, I was wide awake when it happened. I know it was someone banging on the window. And like, I'm like, shit. And it sounded like it was our window. And like, what went through my head was, I'm going out. Not outside, not at the moment. I meant like tomorrow. I'm buying a gun. Yeah. Right? Because I don't have a gun. I can't have a gun. I'm a felon. 3 times over. No. It's illegal for me to have a gun, right? But Jen, there's apparently ways you can get around it. Jen can own it and whatever. But like my thought process was, and she's almost 4 months pregnant, right? Yeah. I'm going out and buying a gun, right? The next time I hear any fucking noise outside of my house, I'm going out with that thing fucking loaded. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And like that's just how I because like so even then you think about that, having the actual baby is 5 months away, and I'm already thinking differently. Yeah. Which is why I want to ask you about being protective. And you can't shelter.
I've always been kind of protective, but especially since I moved to Florida, like I've had the we had the apartment, which was suburbs, but then we got our first house, and the first house we were renting, we still call it our little house in the hood. Like we didn't even realize it was the hood until after we moved in, and like. It was hood, dude. Yeah. We used to have like crackheads come to the house, like because I'm always driving and always out and about and in the streets or whatever. So like all the guys would see me and like they'd come over with like bicycles and sell me 3-wheel bicycles. They'd like knock on the door. Is he home? And they'd come and be like selling me this, selling me that. Yeah, I'll take it. And the next day I'd flip it and make money. I was like, all right, whatever, keep them coming. Like I don't care. But like protective, and then we had the house that we're at now right on like a main strip. We're on Sunset Strip, and it's like the strip is real nice, but I never noticed until like we lived here for like 4, 5, 6 months. They were doing construction on the strip.
Yep, I remember
Like,
that.
My yard is in the back of my yard is a canal. So like you had to cross over the canal before the house because they were doing construction in front. Cross over the canal, and like all the houses on the other side of the canal that are on the canal are just like Sunset Strip. It's like real nice, just whatever upkept houses. But like across the street from those houses is like third world country, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, oh my god, it was like little Haiti. It's bad.
Right.
Oh my god, I could throw a football across the freaking canal and it'll land in like Section 8 housing. It's upsetting, and I was like,
So,
whatever.
Christian, if you knew that your neighbors were partaking in illegal activity and it was affecting your peace of mind, how would you go about it?
That's a good question, man. I mean,
Like, okay, let's
that's
break
a
it down
question.
real.
Yeah,
what I would do.
that's a good
I'm gonna ask you. I'm
question.
gonna ask you in a minute. It's real simple, right?
Yeah.
There's really two things you do. You
Either
go to them
nothing
and you
or-
say something, or you go to the police,
Yeah.
or you do nothing. But that's
So
like
three options.
right. Nothing is not what I'm
Okay,
doing at this point because
I mean, obviously I'm not there, but I guess theoretically I would go. I would probably go to them first.
go to them first.
Yeah.
So you're saying don't be a snitch.
No, I'm not saying that.
You're saying snitches get stitches.
No, I'm not saying that.
You're
I'm not
saying
that.
rat
No.
bastards go to freaking.
No, I'm definitely not saying that. I would just go and just be like, hey, just be very polite. Hey, and depending on how they take it or how they go about it, I would say, hey, look,
That would dictate your next move.
I have a family here. You know what I'm saying? I have a newborn on the way, and you got people coming over here waking us up at 2 a.m. I just want to come in and give you the respect before I go to the police.
Yeah.
So
Because I mean, all it takes
that's
is
it.
one whacked out person trying to come through my
Yeah.
door thinking it's theirs.
yeah.
That's what went through my head. So what would you do?
All right.
If you
Option
knew
one.
you live in an XYZ neighborhood and you know that this person is doing some illegal activity.
Because most people that are doing illegal activity don't want any
Right.
attention, right? So like an episode like last night, 2 a.m, like my neighbor now, like I mean it's not kind of illegal, but like he friggin' posts up these light lamps. The homemade light lamps on PVC pipe 12 feet in the air over my fence, and it comes right in my window, and it'll be outside
man.
banging pallets at 2, 3, 4 in the morning with a newborn baby. I go outside with my BB gun and shoot all those light bulbs out to get the message across. Like, it's 2, 3, 4 in the morning, stop banging pallets,
Yeah.
okay? Go to sleep. So, like, illegal activity next door, I mean, option one is you hear somebody outside banging on the neighbor's thing. I'd go outside and make a scene and be like, what the fuck are you doing outside 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
You could make, like, a scene. Well, other people will come out and be like, what's going on? I'd be like, Andrew's flipping out.
Everybody starts
Why is
peeking their
Andrew-
head out their
yeah,
door.
everybody else just
That's
come
true.
out. Because, I mean, reality, everybody down in one is in everybody else's business. So they'll just come out to their
Right.
front door and be like, why is Andrew bugging out? And be like, oh, his neighbor's next door are selling drugs or something.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh my God. And then that's option one. I mean,
Yeah.
option two, you can go over and be like, yo, I don't care. Like, this happened up north, like, before I moved down here. Like, honestly, I don't care what you do. You
Right.
go over and say, I don't care what you're doing, but I don't want it affecting me.
Right.
Okay? 2 in the morning, you got some whatever coming to the house and waking us up. It's a problem, okay? Option 3, you can start just like go get I don't know, fireworks are legal down here, so I don't know, because I would just start lighting fireworks, so the cops would be showing up looking to see who's lighting fireworks
Yeah.
off. So you could draw the attention to like you'd be the one
This is
instigating,
great intel.
drawing
This is-
attention.
This is why I
good,
asked
yeah.
this
Yes.
fucking guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
I grew up
Yeah.
like that, so I'm shit,
Yeah.
dude. I'd be lighting fireworks off, like, but just to get the cops, be sitting
Yeah.
on the corner waiting to
Yeah.
see who's lighting fireworks off, because hey, guess what? This guy ain't gonna be able to start serving people outside his door no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, I asked you nicely 2 a.m. to get these guys away from
Yeah.
the house. But whatever, I'm just gonna light this.
I don't
water
know,
off
dude.
real
I just
quick.
feel like just going up to them is just like such like a would accomplish
waste.
nothing. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
waste, dude. And like because people did that shit to me when I was
Yeah.
doing that type of shit, and I'm
Yeah,
just like,
true,
yeah,
yeah.
right, dude. Just fucking keep walking.
Yeah,
You ain't
just
gonna do
mind your
shit.
business. That's
And
the
and listen, the bottom line is it's not my business. But
No.
you make a good point when you say when it starts affecting you,
Yeah.
then something needs to be done, right? So
Yeah.
like. And another thing is, dude, they let their dog out at like the weirdest fucking hours, and the thing just yaps and yaps and yaps and yaps. Dude, like I'm talking like 6:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
you know. But all right, kind of shifting.
That's what
Now you talked about
That's
you
good.
talked about Facebook and commenting and your dad about the Life Fest, which kind of light bulb went off because like I was scrolling through Facebook and I was sharing some of your stuff with Christian because I love your point of view and how freely you like to voice your opinion, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Oh, I say it how I keep it real. Dude.
so like, okay, so there was the one about the basketball shorts and the shoes, and then you were like, you know, that shit got me really fired up, you
Yeah,
know,
man.
and then there was the one about like, oh, you're complaining that it's fucking hot out, you know, like, well, was it really fucking hot walking from your car to your fucking cubicle?
Yeah.
You know,
Tell me
and
how
like,
bad
dude,
it was.
yeah, like I love that you voice that shit. Like, what goes through your head when you post that stuff, and like, why do you? I guess like my question is like, why do you do that?
Why not? I always
Because listen, this the reason why I'm asking is because there's so many things that I want to say, right? But I just don't feel like publicly like I should put it there because I'm afraid of the way people are gonna like think like, oh, he's fucking self-righteous, or like does he
fuck
think that
that.
he's better than some people? Like
No.
there's a million and one things that I want to say, but sometimes I just feel like social media like isn't the right place to do it. But I
Why
mean.
not? Dude, why not?
Yeah,
Wanna
it's
know
as simple as that, I
reality?
guess, right?
Yeah.
Because the reality is like on a day to day when like for me like I'm the guy that has to go up to a customer after I've looked at their car, whether it's like a new scratch on their car, and be the bad guy and be
Right,
like, yo,
right.
like you got a new scratch on your car, like or whatever, like I took care of it or something. Oh, this is broken with your car. It's gonna cost this much. People
Right.
don't want to hear these things,
Right.
but the reality is you gotta listen to it. You know what it is? What it is.
Yeah.
Stuff on Facebook and Instagram. Like, I mean, most of the time, people have thoughts in their head, and it's like, yeah, they just don't want to say it. But meanwhile, the person right next to them is probably thinking the same thing,
Right.
but just don't want to say it. So, like, just keep it real. It's like, yo, look at this. Like, yo, oh my God. All these people posting, like, oh my God, it's so hot. Like, dude, you just walk from your house to your air conditioned car to your cubicle with AC. Like, oh my God, so hot. I'm outside all day. Like,
Yeah.
quit bitching.
You
all
work
right? So I'm
outside all
saying
day,
it.
all year
Yeah,
round.
I'm saying it.
Yeah.
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 The other thing was the basketball shorts.
I love that one,
Yeah,
dude.
man. Because
Listen,
it's like,
this is we could talk about this for fucking hours. dude.
so somebody made a comment to me it was probably like a week or two ago, and they're like, oh man, why look at you wearing and one basketball shorts. Oh, who wears those? And I'm like,
Disclaimer: Angelo's wearing annual basketball shorts right now.
right now, right now. Okay, so like I'm like, who the hell cares? I was detailing a boat. I was doing ceramic on a boat. I'm like outside in somebody's driveway working on a boat for 3 days. Like, what the hell? What do I care if I'm wearing and one basketball? I could be out here butt naked. I should be. It's 100 degrees out. Like, say thank you for wearing shorts and not being naked. Like, what are you worried about? So it's like that whole outside perspective. So I was like, all these people that are like, working cubicles and they're like all that flashy, materialistic crap with name brands and whatever. Like that's never been me. I love my toys, man. I'd sooner spend $300 like I just did instead of buying a $300 pair of Jordans. I went out and bought a friggin' remote control boat.
Yeah.
Play on my lake in the yard. So I was like,
Yeah, which you posted that too. Yeah, I remember
yeah.
that. I remember that. Yeah.
So while you guys are buying your Ferragamos and your Jordans to sit in your cubicle, I was like, I'll buy myself one of these since you just want to talk some shit. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just even now, like I'm like on like this kick lately where like I don't care like what you want to look. If you don't even know me, you want to judge me by just my outside appearance. Like I'm usually very clean cut, fresh tape, whatever, shaven. I'm letting it grow. I'm like, fuck it. I want to see how long I can go, how scruffy I can look, how not much of a how much I can not give a shit before I start feeling like, oh, maybe I should, because I'm usually like just keeping it clean cut and whatever. Like I don't really care. And one or Jordans, who the fuck cares? They're shorts. I'm gonna freaking destroy anyway.
See, I do. I went through a phase, right, where, a few years ago, I was like, well, I can't even really say that, but there was like, my fucking closet behind me is filled with shoes, right? Okay. But I haven't bought a pair in a long time. Like probably well over a year, right? And like I went through that phase where it was like gotta have the the nice shoes, I gotta have all this shit, and now like I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you. It's like, yo, like, oh, I don't even know if I should get into this type of shit. Or actually being the one person who can say this shit and be okay with like, hey, look, I'm gonna get some fucking heat for this one, but guess what? Motherfuckers need to hear it.
Amen.
Motherfuckers need to hear it.
I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't see that. You talking about Andrama's podcast?
Yeah.
I still haven't heard that one, man. I need.
It was quick. It was 40 minutes. It was good.
Okay.
So like I want that to go into our next topic, right? Which is I want to talk about knowing what your worth is, like, and you're talking about charging people for jobs and like you have to bear the bad news of like, hey, this is what's wrong, this is how much it's going to cost, all that stuff. And like balancing like time and money, right? Because like something just happened like just recently to me where it was like people wanted me to spend time and they want me to do work, but they don't want to provide me with compensation. They want to provide me with an opportunity for something else. And I'm just like, well, okay, I did it anyway, but like, I just, I want in your experience, because, it's been a few years now where you've been running your own business and like, I'm new to this, I'm new, like just LLC to company this year, kind of learning the ins and out. I'm trying to find the balance between doing the work for free and being creative and learning, but then also like, hey, look, guess what? Boom, it's time to fucking start charging money. I know what my worth is now because I've charged and I've made, a good amount of money, over $100 an hour, on jobs. And then, people, when they hear that, they don't want to fucking hear it. So like, tell me about a time like when you dealt with a situation like that where like either someone was like, oh, no, like I don't want to, I don't want to pay you for the work, or like, just something like.
I deal with people all day, every day.
Yeah.
And like,
I guess how do you?
People could really suck sometimes.
Yeah.
People really suck sometimes. But like over the years, like I remember when I started, like, it was one of my bigger accounts, and they had a bunch of trucks that I would do maintenance on, and like a brake job on one of these big dump trucks. Like it was like $560. I still remember the amount too, and I was like, honestly, like scared to tell her, like, yo, it's gonna cost like $560, and she was like, okay, yeah, and like I remember like having to build up the courage to be like,
and then you get that check, and you're like, fuck yeah,
like, oh,
it's on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I got 3 more for you to do too, and I was like, holy shit, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And now like the numbers kind of change over the years, and it's like, in the beginning, like the regular basic car washes was really how I got started, which was like $25, $30, $35, $40 washes. Yeah,
and you're having to go there, which is like
it's like pretty much working for peanuts, and it's like it's the same amount of work, and it's not really like in detail, but like me being the person that I am, I'm not gonna give you your car back looking like half-assed done. So I still do it in the beginning. Like I would still go that extra mile, and like for all these people that like, don't even know the difference, don't really care. When you're done and you're like, yo, well, I took care of this, that, and the other for you too, and they still got the audacity to not even tip you. And in the beginning you're like, oh, maybe they'll go in their car later and they'll see it. Next time I come, they'll take care of me next time. And and like that was always my mentality in the beginning. Like, oh, maybe next time, they'll take care of me. And like all the time I would do stuff for free and not really like get paid. Stuff, I would do all this extra stuff for people to try and like, show them like, I'm here, I'm not going nowhere, I'm here for the long haul, I'll take care of you, you take care of me, try and lay that foundation down so that people understand. But like the reality is there's a lot of people, like I said, that just really fucking suck. They just suck. They just, is what it is. But now like over time, like doing this for so long, like and like those situations, like $560, scared to say it. Like there's been so many more situations, like those numbers get higher, and like every time you get like a new, barrier where it's like a new high, thing, it's like, holy shit, people are actually really paying like this kind of money for this kind of stuff. I was like, okay, so cool. So now like that $500 thing is like, it turns into like, that's just a normal everyday thing now. And it's like, who would have fucking known? And now, like, there's other things where it's like, holy crap, who the hell, you know, like, and trying to put like a price tag on it, like on your day, like on my day to day, like, dude, like if it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, like it depends how much time I'm gonna be, you know, how much do I have to spend a half hour to drive to you?
Yeah.
Okay, gas
Have there
to
been
get there, tolls to pay, get there, supplies that I gotta use.
Has there been jobs that you said no to?
Oh yeah, I've been telling everybody. Nah,
You said nah, dude. Nah,
I'm like,
dude.
nah, dude. I can't do it.
Not
Like
gonna
I just, you know, like I'll hit. I don't. Well,
Okay,
half
but-
the time I'm like honest, like yo, I honestly don't know. I got like this plan. If
Well,
I
yeah,
got
you can
time
also
later,
probably
I'll
tell
let
them,
you
like,
know.
look, it's not worth it. I won't make enough money.
Yeah.
But I guess.
Nobody wants to hear that.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Nobody does.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Like, so when you started, you would say yes to everything. You'd go the extra mile. You do the job, even if you know that you're not making the money. But now you've gotten to the point where it's like, you don't
Dude,
do that.
this week, girl, I always go to. Well, actually, I don't even go to her. I go to someone else in the office. Different, you know, same building but different office. Go to this person all the time, but the girl always comes out next to get a car done. Last time I went there, 2 times ago I went there, and she freaking went across the West Coast, and she's got a black car, and like previously, like I polished this thing. It was there's a black Camaro on my Instagram. I posted, came out mint, and I was like nice. And then she drove to the West Coast and then didn't even wash it. Like all the bugs and everything sat in the paint, and it was like baked into the clear. Like I had to take the buffing wheel and start like correcting it. And I'm like, yo, this is one pad. Like I did like section by section by section. And I was like, this is just clay and wax. This is like one pass over with the friggin' wheel, and this is 2, and it was like perfect. And I was like, but this is gonna cost you this much, and this is gonna cost you this much. She's like, oh, I can't do it. I was like, all right, cool. No, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Your car looks like this. If you don't really care, I'm not gonna care. I
Right,
mean, I'm not
right.
gonna care for you know, $30. I'm sorry. Nah, like
Okay.
whatever. I tried.
So the job ended there.
Well, so then she kept hitting me up like a week or 2 later, and she, you know, I'm like, I don't know, I'll see. I don't know. I'll let you know. And I went. Then I went this week. I went there, and she was like, you know, she's got one of those K&N air filters. She's like, I need the air filter clean. Then when I got there, she's like, I need a tune-up. I haven't done anything. So I give her a price on a tune-up and to clean the filter. And I'm like, it's costing me this much. It's going to take me this much time.
Yeah.
And actually, the labor times were coming up like almost 3 hours to do. I'm like, 3 hours to change spark plugs. I was like, I'll cut you a break. It's not going to take me that long to do spark plugs. So I was like, I'll give you a deal. And I gave her a price. And, you know, she's like, all right. And it just started raining right when I got there, too. So I was like, whatever. I'll just do it all tomorrow. Okay. So then later that day, she texts me. And she's like, oh, you know, I can't really afford. I can't even do it. Can you just come and do the clean the air filter? I'm like, yeah,
said-
I'll let you know. I used the stuff this morning when I was washing my truck. I cleaned my own air filter. I was like, dude, don't waste my time. Like, you know, like this, because there's been plenty of times where people are just, you know, and that's what bothers me when I'm coming consistently every other week, every week or whatever, to come and I'm doing all the little jobs, all the peanuts. You know, dealing with the little shit, waiting for the time when, you know,
payday,
eventually something's going to
Right.
break on the car. You know, you're going to drive somewhere, wreck something, and need something done. You know, and the time's going to come where, you know, all the peanut jobs I'm not really making anything on, but I keep coming, waiting for that time when you really are going to need something that, you know, maybe I can put some food on my table. You know, maybe you could take care of me once, you know? And like, to go through all those times getting the peanuts and then the big ones don't come and you finally waited for it and it came and then they're like, nah, and you find out they go somewhere else. I'm like, yeah, okay, peace. I'm coming. Yeah, I'll be there next week. Sure.
She went
Nah,
somewhere else?
Nah, I don't. Maybe probably.
Oh, but you're just saying as a general thing,
General,
like,
yeah.
like that's happened to you a few times, and that's
all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, mechanics are mechanics, and they're part changes, and that's the best part. When I'll go to somewhere and I won't even charge you know, like to diagnose the vehicles, like whatever. It's like it's
Yeah, that's
this is what it
$99
is.
anywhere else.
I know, I know.
That's $100 bill,
And
brother.
I'm coming to you. I'm driving to you. Because 90% of the time, if I'm driving to you, I come check it out, price it out. 90% of the time, I'm getting the job. They always come to me.
Right.
Most people won't even go anywhere else. They'll come to me. So, like, for me to go and give you a diagnostic, I'm not going to charge you that $100 because I'm getting the job out of it. I'm going to make money fixing the friggin' car. So I don't need to charge you. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. But, like, to make me come diagnose the thing, and I'll spend an hour sometimes. an hour, maybe more. Sometimes taking wheels off and jacking the car and this and that, getting underneath, getting dirty even. Like on top of driving, paying tolls, paying gas, like to then tell you, yo, you need X, Y, and Z. It's gonna cost this much, and then they just call their little, part changer mechanic that says, "Oh, well, I'll do it for $5 cheaper."
It happens,
and they go to them.
It happens
I'm like,
in AC World all the time too. Same shit.
I'm like, nah,
Same shit.
Yeah,
Happens with your type of work too.
Yeah, same shit.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like you're not paying. You're
See, for me as a person, right? Like, I feel bad doing that type of shit.
What?
Like if I call you, you give me an estimate on a job, like I feel bad if I don't use you.
Right.
Like I have that conscience, and where some people are just like, they just don't give a fuck. Like to save $5, you're gonna fucking act like a piece of shit. Like,
well, there's been plenty. There was I told somebody a couple, it's probably a month or so ago, and I was like, honestly, like I'm not coming to do business with you. Like the person literally did not value my time at all. Like I did something. I did a valve cover gasket, and the PCV valve went bad on that car afterwards, and it started leaking. And I was like, oh, maybe we need to do like a tune. I don't remember why we never changed it or whatever, but I went and I told him, and it was like $10. And when I got back from the store, I was like, let's just change this PCV valve, so that no gases are trying to escape from the top. That seal, the gasket's new. I literally just double checked. Everything's fine. So maybe we'll just change this valve and just drive it for a little bit and make sure it doesn't come back. That's probably what it is. So I pulled it out. It was clogged. It was nasty. I was like, yeah, let's just change it. So I go to the store, wrap everything, all tools up, go to the store, get this part, come back, set the tools back up, after diagnosing the thing for an hour. And it was like, yeah, dude, the friggin' thing was $10. Like, really? I don't worry about it. So I throw it in, getting ready to leave. You know what he hands me? $10. I'm like, dude. He's like, oh, and if whatever, you gotta come back. You gotta come back. It's like, I don't know if you think like I'm married to this thing, but like like if I did your brakes and your friggin' engine light comes on, I'm supposed, like it's my problem. Like nah, dude. Like I'm not married to your car. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was like,
so I'm sure, but I'm sure it also took you a long enough time, to get to the point where like, hey, look, you don't value my time, so there's no point in me continuing this relationship.
Right. Whole offices I've turned down now. Like I used to go and do. Rack up easy 8-10 cars at one spot, and all of them, none of them value time. 25, 30.
So it probably took you, but it probably took you a year or two to get to that.
A couple
place.
Of years,
yeah.
I didn't. Turn down
that's something people need to know, because like I don't want to be impatient, and I want to do it I want to do it the right way, but I also because I want to say, like, I know a little bit about business, and I know a little bit about money and how the world works and all that stuff, but like, I'm new at this whole thing, being my own boss and starting my own business and all that stuff. But like a lot of stuff that we just talked about like money and knowing your worth and time and respect and all that stuff, like those aren't just like business things. Like those are like life things in general. Experience. Exactly. That's experience. So like I'm not fully experienced, and I don't have years of running and owning my own company, but like I have 30 years on the planet, of which 7 of the last of those 30 years I've done intense work on myself, my mentality. I've done a lot of work internally, and I know what's right and what's wrong.
The problem isn't really like internally on yourself. It's the problem is when you're dealing with other people, and they're trying to put expectations. Like my experience is like, especially in the beginning and over the years, like. Let's just call it 10 cars or 10 customers you deal with on a daily basis that you go above and beyond for. If you get 1 out of those 10 that don't appreciate your time, whatever, it's like the Bronx Tale. For $20 you never have to talk to them again. Like whatever. Yeah. But like out of on the flip side, glass half full, half empty, whatever. Flip side, if you get 1 of those 10 people that genuinely care for your own well-being, and following day you knew another 10 people, you got 1 person out of those 10 that genuinely care about your well-being and will be one of those honest people that when you go to and tell them, yo, it's A, B, C, D, this is what you need. It's cost this much, and they say, yeah, whatever it is, just let me know how much it is, and they trust you. You know,
Yeah.
That's what that mostly
makes,
all my customers, they trust me. Cause
that makes it all worth
it. I go there, it's like they don't have to worry about anything. Like, oh, this is like I don't even do like negotiating. Like, no, dude, this is like bottom dollar, fair honest price. This is what it is. Yes, no, go. I'll go pick up the parts, and come and do it. And when I'm done, I'm going into your office. You either write a check, go in your wallet, whatever, pay me, and I'm done. God, I'll see you next time. Done. That's the relationships I try and hold on to, because I've gone 10 customers in the day and only getting one person that really gives a shit, you know? And every day for days on end, weeks on end, months on end, years on end now. And it's like, now I got enough people from those that one customer per day, let's just call it, that I can literally fill up my days every single day. That all those other 9 people in that day, the other 9 people in the other day that don't really give a shit about you, fuck them. I'll go take your ass down the damn street and go sit outside the Jiffy Lube and wait there for hours.
Whatever the fuck you want to do.
Let them friggin' not tighten your lug nuts, and they're calling me about, oh, well, I took it to this one and now it's fucked up. Well, I'm charging you double to fix that fuck up because you weren't a loyal fucking person now. You know what I mean? Yeah. You wanted to cheat on me, that's what you get. Yeah. So whatever,
All right, good shit, man. All right, so how can people find you? On obviously, the Real Deal Car Guys on Facebook and Instagram, same tag. Anybody in the Broward, Palm Beach is looking for mobile mechanic, mobile detailing, auto, marine, and anything else you fucking need. Anything with a motor.
I put up shutters.
He puts up shutters. Whatever you need.
Everything.
Good guy to know. Yeah, but that's one of those things. Like that's what I like about like running your own business too. In general, it's like you don't have to be so specific on what you do. Like you could charge someone for anything, dude. Like want me to come spend my time?
I put up fences. Yeah. Dude, over the years, I can look back at all different projects that I would do. Like, and it's like that's what's cool. Like I can literally like switch it up. Like storm season comes and people need to put up the shutters on the house. We would literally go trucks deep, guys deep, and just go put up shutters for people's houses.
Anything you can do to make money.
The whole cul-de-sac or whatever.
Like just random the whole jobs, community, you know? Random stuff. Build a fence around, this. I need a gate in the front, or anything handy with a tool. Like, sure, I got this. You know what I mean?
Best part, you can do whatever you want. All right, so we'll wrap up the episode there. 29th recorded episode with Angelo from Real Deal Car Guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming out, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming out. Rate the podcast, how you feel. Give us a like or subscribe on Facebook and Instagram. What else, Chris?
That's all.
12 book project we fucking nixed, right, a while back. I've been reading a book that I want Christian to read. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah. We're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about, first couple chapters because it's got some really interesting stuff in it that's directly related to everything that we just talked about and kind of what our show is kind of versed on. So we're going to talk about Rich Dad, Poor Dad next week. I'm putting Christian on the assignment to read the book with me, and we're going to get into it. Jesse is not here tonight because he had a little emergency. He's not going to read the fucking book anyway, so we're not even going to ask him to. Me and Christian will read the book, and we're going to talk about it a little bit next week. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.